And our next event coming up is our grand opening. Will be August the 9th. Our next event is our back to school event. We will be located at 2626 South Loop West, Suite 130. We will be giving away hygiene kits, backpacks, school supplies, and different other items. We will have free vendors, events, and resources will be provided, and research opportunities for our vendor that will be giving away gift cards. So please come out, and the kids must be present to receive the items.
Welcome to the Willpower Hour podcast, where we help individuals elevate their lives through personal development. Start with the mindset. Today I have
Darlene Kearney.
Darlene Kearney. It is a pleasure for you to be here.
Thank you.
And I'm saying you be here, like I'm not in your office. It's a pleasure for you to allow me to come to your office where you do impactful work to be able to record this podcast. Can you tell the people a little bit about who you are?
Okay, so I am the founder and CEO of God's Lovely Butterflies Maternity Home, where we house homeless mothers, single mothers, mothers that just came out of jail, returning citizens, mothers that is like having hard times and they need a place to stay. And we offer a lot of resources to the community: diapers, wipes, parenting, school supplies. We are a support system for mothers.
I can tell. Look, all the work you've been doing. Did you say you was the only maternity home?
Yes, we are the only black-owned maternity home in Houston. It's another maternity home, but we are the only maternity home that house mothers that we do. And we also have 2 locations, so we are the only one that offer all the resources. We are a one-stop shop, and I am the only maternity home that is hands-on. Like, I take the girls to the doctor. I take them to the WIC. I take them to the grocery store. So I'm hands-on. I'm one person thing, and I help everybody, So when they come in, I'm the one that does the intake. I'm the one that, we just had recently a mother that came from TDCJ from reentry.
Okay.
And she came in, and I was assessing her, and she was like, I'm not having this baby. And I'm like, oh, you're not having this baby. And after, I started doing the resources, and the first place I took her was to the food stamp office.
Okay.
So we went to the food stamp office, and after then, she got her, Miss Darlene, I changed my mind. And I say, what changed your mind? She say, I seen mothers with their babies. And I was so happy, because I had to support her decision. I had set her up with an adoption agency and everything, but I knew in my heart when she seen everything that we offered, and she was like, oh my God, I don't need anything. Yeah. So I feel supported. Like, we have the bassinet, we have clothes for her, we have a strong support system. So she decided to have her baby, and the baby was born on the 28th, and she is just so happy.
You know what? That's real impact. And of course, you play a big part in that impact and transformation but obviously your environment that you have for the girls and
yes.
the kids there, it did something to her spirit.
Yes.
For her to have a change in heart.
Yes.
Because I'm sure it took a lot, and there was something that made her want to say, hey, I'm not having this baby for whatever reason.
Right.
But just being in your presence, seeing what you're doing, the environments, the other women that are more than likely just like her, probably been through just about as her, made her want to change her mind. And I just want to say I appreciate you for that. And I appreciate her, in case she ever see this, for keeping that baby.
Yes.
Boy or girl?
It's a girl.
A girl.
London.
Look, I love it. I love it. I love it. So, obviously what you do, you only talked about one thing that you do, but we'll get to that. I'm pretty sure that it's going to prompt us to talk about the other things you do.
Yes.
But when I hear maternity home, obviously in the Facebook group, I know when you put it out there, it got a lot of people attention.
Yes.
People want to know. It's like it's almost foreign to a lot of people.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure it is, especially in the African American setting. It's probably foreign. But what made you come up with this type of home? Like, out of all homes, everybody want to do reentry.
Exactly.
They want to do homeless,
right,
and senior stuff like that. But what made you come and want to do something like this?
Okay, so in 2010, God gave me a vision. I was on my way to the metamorphosis at the Fountain of Praise, and before I was getting ready, I was all ready to volunteer there. So I'm getting ready, getting dressed, and then I seen a vision of butterflies and babies and pregnant women, and I was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll just think about this later," because I was on my way. So then on my way there, they talked about the butterfly and the transformation and the formation, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of understanding the formation of this. So when I got home, I ended up having a dream about it. So when I woke up, I wrote a whole binder in one day. When I got up, I was like, okay, draw everything, and I started asking people, what is this? And they was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I was like, okay, so I just went on Google, and I just started seeing it was nonprofit organization. So then I thought, okay, God gave me the vision, and then everybody is lovely. So then it was the butterflies, and then I was like maternity home. So I came up with God's Lovely Butterflies Maternity Home.
That's powerful. Like you came up with an idea, obviously based off of your surroundings, maybe some things you was going through.
Oh yes.
Looking at certain signs that's being put in your face. See, a lot of people ignore the signs.
Oh yeah.
Or they try not to even dissect it and figure out what is this.
Is
like,
it
whether it's negative or positive.
Yes, right.
Because I do believe that in life, some things are revealed to us.
Oh yes.
Whether if it's negative or positive.
Positive.
And we need to most definitely try to figure it out because it could lead us somewhere. But you took that, followed it, even wrote it down, basically took the vision from behind your eyes and put it in front of your eyes on paper.
Yes.
And then it eventually came to life. And I guess we can almost say that's like a business plan in a sense.
Right,
it probably wasn't as structured, but it was just more like
it was like
more
wrote it down. You know, they say, write the vision down, make it plain, and that's what it was. And then also I know my history. Like I got pregnant when I was 17, and I had my daughter at 18. So I didn't know anything about being a mother. My mom did put me out. So I ended up experiencing homelessness, and I was like, so I didn't have nowhere to go. So I had to they didn't have a maternity home.
Right.
When I was only thing they had was a pregnant school, which was K. So I was able to bring my baby to school, and I was able to, graduate. But at the mean part, it's like, okay, what do? I have to sacrifice going to school, or do I have my baby? So I ended up dropping out of school. So me going to getting into the magnet program and Stephen F. Austin High School to become a teacher, and here I go pregnant, and I'm the only one pregnant in the school.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, I felt embarrassed and ashamed, and I'm just like, okay, I'm dropping out, and I did. So I dropped out, and I had to sacrifice because I was a single mother. The dad wasn't a part of her life, so I ended up thinking about, okay, my child or money. So I'm like, I had to work. So I ended up getting a job at Wendy's, and I was working even more sickness, throwing up in the bathroom, but I still had to work. So then I decided, like, okay, Darlene, what we gonna do right now? So I ended up going through the process. I went back to school. I found a program that I can go get my high school diploma. So I was getting my high school diploma and my medical assistant at the same time.
Okay.
So then I end up, we broke the cycle. My daughter is 26 years old now. She go to TSU. She's on the dean's list. She's going to be a nurse. So she, we broke the cycle. So she's not pregnant, and then later on, 5 years later, here I am again with a son. So the same thing, a single mother taking care of a child. And then 5 more years later, I have my 16-year-old. So all of this, I've been married 3 times, divorced 3 times. So I am a single mother, and then I have my +1.
Talk to him.
Yeah, so my +1 is Justice. So Justice came to me when he was 2 months old. His mom, we had a situation with CPS, and at this time, and me, I'm transparent, so everybody know me. Like, I have dealt with CPS before, so I have been on their side of CPS, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get this baby because I had a CPS case in the past. So the lady, I was honest with her. I was like, I'm not going to be able to get them because she's like, let me talk to my supervisor. So she talked to the supervisor. The supervisor was like, she can take them. So when she said that, they was like, my sign from God. Like, okay, so Justice is now 2 years old. Justice have been a light of the world to everybody. My 16-year-old, she wanted a baby, but she was like, she wanted a little girl, but we end up, having Justice. So
Right.
it's just like they have a tight bond. She helps me with Justice and everything. Justice has been a light to everybody. So everybody takes him in. He has so many support from his aunties, which is my friends. Everybody he just glow. Even at the daycare work, he has attachment issues. So I drop him off at the daycare all the time, and he is just cry and cry and cry, and then she had to post pictures of me around the daycare in order for him to keep him calm. So and right now, he's adjusted. Like he go into the daycare like no problems. I volunteer at the daycare as well, and he just, he's a joy to everybody. So justice for justice, and he's been a major part. So I didn't know, that this was going to be the outcome.
Right.
I'm thinking like, okay, I'm having a maternity home, but I never thought about that part.
Right.
Like, what about if this comes along? I'm just thinking about, okay, I'm housing mothers that's single, that have their babies, not important that if CPS come in.
Right.
What do we do? But I was like, no, CPS, you're not taking this baby. I didn't have, the mom came to me from the Covenant House. She was with me since he was 6 months. So it was like, it was attachment. I was the second person he seen, so I was like, oh no, this is my baby, and this is my plus one. So it was like I had my 2 girls and my 2 boys.
So let me get this straight. You were housing a young mother in one of your maternity homes.
Yes.
That had a young baby boy, young Blessing. And she was going through some CPS issues, and they was trying to take her. And you decided that you, as the owner of the operation,
Yes.
who probably already have a pretty productive life,
Yes.
just raised 3 20-year-olds, right?
No, a 25, 22, and a 16.
And a 16. Basically, you now kind of almost have to start over.
Right.
That's impactful. For you to want to sacrifice your time, your life, to give that time and life and put it into this young boy who was more than likely about to go into the system, and who knows how long he would be there,
Exactly.
like most people.
Right.
Now, granted, he would have been young going into the system, so somebody probably would have took a chance on him versus if he was a
Right.
teenager or something. But that speaks volume. Like, you are really hands-on on something, and we know, like, just me being in the group home industry as well, with obviously people who are at risk, they are vulnerable and
Right.
things like that. And I'm not gonna say they're needy, but they need a lot of resource
They
and
do.
attention for certain things.
Exactly.
So for you to be so hands-on what you do, doing other things that complement the things that you do, and take on a baby boy like that, that speaks volume.
Yes.
That speaks volume. I like that. So I want to ask, when your mother put you out, like, what was your thought process? And of course, you was young.
Yes, my thought process was like, really? But at this time, I grew up in government apartments. My mom was there I'm from the Aristocrats apartments. So, my mom, she was there. It's now Palomino Place. So she was there all her life, So I'm just like, okay, I didn't want to be, I went to elementary school there, middle school. I decided I didn't want to go there during high school. So I ended up meeting this guy that my first husband was, and I thought he was going to be, this is the man of my dreams. And then I didn't understand, like, okay, like I see him, and then 2 weeks later he goes to jail, and I'm like, what's going on? So she was like, oh, so you want to be with him, and he got this going on? And I was like, yeah. So I begged his mom, and I was like, can I stay with you? Because my mom put me out, because I'm like, when he got out, I was like, I want to stay over there. And I'm like, me being, my mom, she was strict, she was a single mom. My dad wasn't there. I never met my dad. He died when I was in middle school. I never met him or anything. So, so I was just like, okay, so all I'm used to meet, by my mom. So I'm like, okay, so I move out, I get kicked out. And she was like, well, you're going to stay over there. And I was like, yes. And I never came back. I stayed, and it was the horrible time ever, and here I'm with a baby and, trying to figure out. And then so I had stopped talking to her. Like, I was so upset, because I was like, how can somebody do that, to their child? Right. So I was just like, now I understand, You know, because at first, now if she wouldn't have gave me that tough love,
Right.
I probably would never be in where I am right now. And I'm so appreciative. My mom passed away in 2015, and and then I had to take care of her, so we ended up getting our bond together. So when it was time for us to build our bond, she was like sick and she had strokes and couldn't walk and talk. So I had to I told her, I was like, Mom, I forgive you, but I appreciate you for what you did, because I probably would have been stuck.
Yep.
But I know how to do more things. I'm an entrepreneur. I know how to cook. I know how to take care of my kids. So that's the irony of the story. I was upset with her, but then I had to forgive her. Okay, so if she would have never gave me that opportunity, I would never know. Okay, I don't want to live this life. I was around drugs, and I'm not even addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
It's I was exposed to so many things, like homelessness. I'm looking at people talking to themselves, and I'm like, ooh, what's going on? But
Right.
I was like, if I would have never seen, I was on the other side of the world. I ain't never seen this side of the world, third ward, oh my God, they is really experiencing poverty and, all of this. But I end up beating the odds, and I end up, I was being a bad girl out there, after I was selling drugs, and I almost went to jail, and with my daughter, and then I didn't even know I was pregnant.
Right.
So, so I was like, okay, this not the life. So I'm just I didn't did that. Now this is where I am.
You said your whole story, and this is just a fraction of probably things we're about to get into.
Right.
But this is the foundational piece that people need to understand about who you are and about people in general, because sometimes we prejudge people and think that because they are at a certain level,
right,
they ain't been through nothing.
Right.
But most people, have been through things, and that is their fuel. But you mentioned something about forgiveness. A lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, they do.
And I didn't hear you say anything about regrets, anything. You appreciated your mama for doing something that obviously was traumatic for you at that time, but you was able to get over that hump. Your resilience literally exemplified itself. So I do feel like a lot of people, more people out there in the world, need to understand that things can either make you or break you.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It is, because life be lifing, and I'm just people, they done seen me in my highs, and what I'm saying, they used to see me in my lows. I didn't have been through so much, probably more things that anybody can been through in life. Everybody and people have followed me, and they tell me, I'm so proud of you for not giving up. I'm I did have them times, I'm okay, look, this gonna take me out. But I'm I look at the bigger part of it, and I'm just God, give me the strength to pass through. It's hard being a parent,
right,
especially a single parent, doing everything. I'm just I'm the mama, I'm the daddy, I'm the nurse, I'm the when things happen, and then I'm I stopped working completely in September, and I started doing my own entrepreneur thing.
And you doing it. You doing it. I can't wait to talk about it. My whole experience before we came in here, you doing it. I'm glad you, like I said, I'm really glad that you just spoke on all this, especially that forgiveness part.
Yes.
And you appreciating the traumatic thing about your mama putting you out, because everybody do need to understand, the real lessons and growth is in the actual lessons.
Yes, exactly. It is.
Lessons can be a blessing.
Right.
It's just depend on how you take it
exactly,
and what you do with it. Even for myself, at one point in my life, going through the things I've been through, pointing the finger, father not there, 15 years of my life because he's incarcerated, things like that. Mama not spending as much time with us. Not saying she was a bad mom. She worked a lot, two jobs.
Yeah,
and she did not know how to express certain things. She just knew how to love us, put clothes on her back, go to work, put food in our stomach. But spending time on the outside, she didn't know how to do that.
Exactly.
So I used to, have some regrets and things like that. But then I start realizing the growth, the change. Me getting in trouble at 18 years old, catching a gun charge and stuff, getting dismissed. Just seeing all these blessings that's happening, I just start realizing, you know what? Let me stop regretting.
Exactly.
And now being 31 years old, just looking back, everything that ever happened was seeds planted for where I'm at
where
right now.
Where you are right now.
Exactly.
Stepping stones to get you where you are.
And I have no regrets about nothing that I've done. I have no regrets about, the feeling about it or anything, because I know, it made me who I am.
Exactly.
Just like your situation made you who you are. So for anybody watching this, understand that your situation that you've been through and what you're going through, like, it's finna prepare you for something bigger as long as you take it and leverage it. Everything, life is really about leverage.
Exactly.
Whether if it's the negative or the
in
positive.
the positive, and this is what how you deal with it. Like some people like, oh, this happened to me, this happened to me. Yes, but you have to take what happened to you to make you a better person. You gonna like people like I had so many things happen to me, but I'm not bitter. I'm happy, you know, and I still like help somebody. You know, I'm like I done been taken advantage of by friends that I done been friend hurt. Every hurt that you got in relationship hurt. Dad hurt, mama hurt, sibling hurt, you know, so I understand, but if you dwell on that, it makes you the bitter. They win and they sleeping at night and you just wondering, oh, they did this to me. So then at the end of the day, you know, you dwelling on that. So I work in it's crazy, but I work better in pain. Like when somebody hurt me, I'm like, okay, I'm about to go do this.
for the people who strong and really understand the psychology behind it, it is one of the best things to help us push towards what we need to do. Like whenever I'm relaxed and I don't have no pressure on me, I feel like I get complacent. Right. But when that pressure come in, like, and it makes me upset enough, like I gotta get it. I typically don't shut down. So I feel to understand where you're coming from. Now, of course, some people can't function up under that, but I feel like when some people start, you know, using that pain and turning it into purpose, they gonna see.
They gonna see, exactly. And I use every pain like me. So I was homeless. Okay, so I can relate to the ladies at the maternity home. Like I share my story with them, and I'm just like, okay, this is what, and they like, oh, Miss Darlene, I didn't know you been through that. Yeah. So yes, I've been through that, and that's why I pour into them, you know, and I show them like even if you don't be grateful, I did my part.
Right.
You know, sometimes I didn't have them want to fight or Miss Darlene or this and that or use what I tell them against me. But it's just like at the end of the day, I'm here to help you. So no matter what, you know, I'm here. And then at the end of the day, you're going to realize, well, if it wasn't for Miss Darlene, I wouldn't have no help with my baby, you know, with no strings attached, you know. So I'm just like, I just want to make sure that they don't go through what I went through, you know. So I'm just like, if you know education, I make sure they get that education, you know. I'm just like, I had one come to me, she had dropped out of school too.
Okay.
So she went to graduate. That was our first graduate. She graduated from Bryan College Station school. So she ended up getting her high school diploma. So it's just like, so it's what you want. You know, you can't feel, I feel in life that you feel sorry for yourself. You know, you can't feel, things happen. Yes, life has did a lot to us. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do to make yourself feel better? You be drowning in your sorrow. Yes, you ain't have no daddy. No, your mama passed away. Or, you know, yes, you wasn't dealt a good hand. You know, because I felt that all the time. I'm like, why do I go through so much stuff that I see that nobody, but it's just the chosen ones is going to go through it all.
You said it. You heard that. The chosen ones are going to go through it all. And remember that your negative situation, literally, you have the power to change that. But if you continue to wait on other people, you're going to be waiting forever. So take advantage of the pain, everything negative that you've been through. It literally can be your greatest facilitator to the success you desire. And for a person, I'm sure both of us, obviously, being at where we are now in life, we can more than likely say that, hey, I am glad the things that happened, it happened to me.
Yeah.
So
I definitely can say, because if it molded me. If I couldn't go through what I've been through, I wouldn't be able to share my story and be able to, you know, sit here like I have. I have a drug testing center, and I have a contract with CPS. So I have a lot of girls that come in here and they are bitter, they upset, you know, with things that goes. I've been through with CPS, so I know how to talk to them and tell them what's the goal. You doing drugs, but what's more important, your baby.
Right.
You know, so that's like God put us in a situation. I'm just like, I'm on the other side now, you know. So at first I was like, I was scared of them. They calling now. I was like, oh, I can walk with my head up high, knowing they just calling to see if I received the paperwork or asking me did somebody come. So you know, so I'm just who would have thought that pain would have turned into a business for me.
Look,
you know.
And that's what makes it powerful and more meaningful. Anybody ask you how you started, what made you do it, and you start telling that story, it should make a lot of people gravitate towards you. Because I know when you started telling me, I'm like, man, this is dope. We got to quit talking about it. We got to put this on the camera so everybody else can hear it for sure. But I want to ask you something. you mentioned that you didn't know your father.
No.
You never met him at
Never
all.
met him.
But you knew that he passed away because maybe your mom.
No, my sister-in-law had called. My mom was about to rekindle their relationship.
Oh.
And he started writing. He wrote me. I am a twin, so he wrote me and my twin a letter.
He was in prison?
No, he was in Dallas.
Okay.
So he was like on his deathbed, and we didn't ever know. She was just like talking to him, and then so my sister-in-law, which is dead and gone, she said, "Oh, I see some letters that he wrote to y'all and some tickets. He was paid for the tickets for us to go see him."
Right.
And she was like, "I just want to inform you." She called my mama, and he passed away. And my mom was like, "What?" And she came in, and I was like crying. My sister was like, "What you crying for? He ain't never did nothing for us." I'm just like, it's this not how my story.
Yeah.
I always dreamed like I was gonna meet him. Like I don't know nothing. Like I don't know how he looked or how he was. All I know his birthday was April 29th. That's it. So that's not how I wanted my story. I wanted my story to at least like, I forgive you, Dad. I know you wasn't there. I know that you was a married man, and I'm upset that you ain't come. Like you forgot about us. But it's like at the end of the day, I forgave him. And I'm just like, and then I'm like, how history repeating itself. Like I have 3 kids, and their dad not part of their life, and one of the dads died during COVID. So, and then one of them, my 16-year-old daddy is addicted to drugs. So that's when ended up made me want to be a substance abuse counselor, because I was trying to understand why you chose drugs over your child.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, it's like I can't focus on what they doing. Like my kids are good. I've been the mama and the daddy. Yes, I ain't say that I was the perfect mom because I had to work.
Right.
It was like times I'm like, I see them and I'm like, they have to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Because I'm like one job after the next. And I'm just like, it did put a strain on our relationship. So, but I was just like, at the end of the day, I had to forgive myself that I had to do what I had to do.
Right.
I had to make sure that we had lights, we had gas, we had water, and then I had to make sure that we had the responsibility of the mom. I had to do everything. So at the end of the day, I'm taking them to school, picking them up, and then so now I'm in a better space now because I am, I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm able to be at home, and I can balance myself with my 16-year-old and take her to school and, do different things that I didn't do. I wasn't able to do with my older kids.
You said something else key. Parents sometimes don't understand that their kids can still have feelings for somebody who's absent.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and forget that they once probably had some type of emotion, even if it's ill or a good emotion towards that person as well. So you said you lost your father at 15.
Mm-hmm.
So from...
No, I lost in middle school.
Middle school?
I was like 11 or 12.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So from the time that you ever realized that there is a such thing as a father, whatever age that is for you, and realizing that, okay, my father is not there, and then up to the point of losing him, how did that make you feel as a little girl going through the motions, mom trying to do the best she can, and you not having one of the most important pieces that most children, I'm not even just going to say children, I'm going to just say little girls need for their life. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel bad, because I'm like, I see people come to the school, they with their mom and their dad, and then I'm like, we in a government apartment, so most of them, you see mothers anyway, so we didn't see the dad. It was like very often that you seen the dad, even in our family, it's just like the moms, it was always the mom.
Right.
It's not, the dads was never present.
So, after father passed away, of course, there's a grieving process. I would probably say that if anybody don't ever grieve over people like that, it's because they hiding it, and one day it will come out.
It will come out, yes.
Whether if you're an elder and you done got dementia and it remembers
it
will come out.
Exactly, it will come out, exactly.
This is true.
Right.
So, after losing them, grieving process, at some point you did, get put out, things like that. How did it make you feel after, or what is the feeling like to know, like, hey, I was grieving, went through the whole situation, mama put me out, but I make things out of nothing basically.
Right.
Like, how does it make you feel today?
Like today, it's like I don't think about it. Really, I don't, because I'm just like, okay, my dad wasn't there, but it's just like, but it does, it 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 does play a part now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, okay, here I am. Like my mom. Like, no, the dad wasn't present, and
Right.
and I'm just like, so. But I've never been like the issue of like bashing my kids' dads or making them do what they supposed to
For
do.
sure.
I'm just like, I know what I have to do as a parent. I can't, I know I can't leave them hungry. I know that I have to make sure they have a roof over their head,
Right.
and I'm just like, so as the person today is just like, I guess that's why I'm so headstrong, and I'm like, I can do this, even though I'm not a man, but I just, I have, I just feel that I can do things, it bothers in a relationship.
For
So
sure.
it's like, because I'm so headstrong, I'm so used to doing things. So it's just like, if things don't get done, I'm like, I can do it. I'm just, so that if I had my dad, so somebody, like, I see people, they have their dads, I be on Facebook like, oh, my dad, they have their parents, this is my mom, my dad, and me, I don't know how they feel.
Yeah.
I don't know how they feel, because we did have father figures, but they wasn't like,
It's not the same.
not the same.
Not the same.
It's not the same. So it's just like, okay, I never had a dad. So, and I never had nobody to play the dad role.
Right.
And to say, hey, this is my daughter, and, and take me in, and this and this and that. So it's just like, that part is still voided in me.
I just want to say, I salute you. I salute all the strong mothers. Obviously, I come up under a single family, a single mother. I come up under a single mother, which is my grandmother as well.
Okay.
So I have a mother who was a single mother, grandmother who was a single mother. And those two was in, my life doing the best they could. So when I hear you say, I can do this, I can do that, or at least try to do it, like, I get where you're coming from.
Right.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
Look, salute to you.
Thank you.
So, but we gonna shake off the,
Yes.
the sentimental stuff. Look, because I don't want you in here crying.
Okay,
and stuff. It
no,
can come out.
you don't have to worry about that. I'm strong.
Good,
I'm
good.
strong.
But you ain't always got to be strong.
I
It's
know,
okay.
exactly. Look, the hardest times is past, and I'm in a good space in my mind,
Yeah.
So I work through it, I'm like, I'm not gonna say that I have my days,
For
my
sure.
bad days that that I don't think about things and like things that could have been better, or I don't dwell on the past. Like, I just go. Okay.
Well, I want to talk about some things that I'm sure a lot of people watching this, especially aspiring group home operators, people who've been through exactly what you've been through, people been through the type of people that you serve. So I want to talk about, you said you started this maternity home. Is it a for-profit or non-profit?
It's a nonprofit.
It is a non-profit. Was it challenging for you to start it as a nonprofit?
It was very challenging. So I opened my first home in 2022. So during the pandemic, I was working in Harris County Jail because I'm a correction person. So I was working in Harris County Jail, and I didn't understand about COVID, and all the inmates was getting COVID, and my employees, and I was scared, and I was like, okay, and then one day one of my coworkers like, oh, I was working in the lab, everybody in the lab have COVID, and I'm like, oh, I ain't going in there.
Right.
And then so I had called my boss. She was like, so you're not coming in? I was like, no, I'm going to go get tested, and I ended up testing positive, and I was like, So I ended up, like, me and her ended up having little words or whatever, and I ended up getting fired.
Okay.
So, which was the best thing, and that's what pushed me to, I saved all my money, because, we was getting money during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I saved my money, and I opened my maternity home, and then so that was my first maternity home, and I ended up, like, saving my money, doing what I had to do to get the maternity home, and then 2 months later, I had the opportunity from her cousin. The cousin was like, my cousin have another home, and I was like, no, the landlord. Okay. I'm like, no, I'm not ready for another home. And then I just stepped out on faith, and I ended up having 2 maternity homes. And then it was like the situation, it was like it wouldn't pass, I was trying inspection and stuff, so I ended up having to let that go. But in the meantime, The maternity home, it is like I'm working on grants, but it's like nonprofit, and it's the struggle, because I'm like I have to work
Yeah.
to maintain the maternity home, but the landlord, I'm grateful for her that she gave me the opportunity.
Yeah.
She never. I've been there for 4 years now, and she haven't went up on the rent. She works with me. She was like, I see your vision.
Yeah.
I get it. And I was just like, so one day I'll be able to,
Yeah.
I have my grandson, and I'm like, I'm do what I need to do. But it's a struggle, but I look beyond the struggle.
For sure.
I look beyond, because these people need a place to stay, and if I don't do it, who will? Especially getting all these calls and it's no help. It's no assistance.
And you've been through many struggles. The struggle that you was going through at that time is no different from any other struggle.
Right.
It just might smell a little different.
Right.
Might have a little different scenario to it, but it's still a struggle. So you've been there. So
Yes.
it's easy for you to weather the storm.
Yes.
But your landlord, I salute your landlord for working with you and seeing your vision.
Yes.
A lot of these landlords don't want to allow people to use these homes.
No.
To be able to meet the need that's out here in the community.
Exactly.
Especially in Houston.
Exactly.
It's
They
getting
not
bad.
exactly they getting bad, but she gave me the opportunity and she let me be a part of it. She was like, well, okay, what you need? She put exit signs up. Like, she was just just so welcoming. Like, I don't have to do the field. She come in, her husband come. It's just like it's a support system.
Yeah.
It's just like I love you. Like, we have a personal relationship. So it's just like I salute Miss Sandra. I really do, and I salute my new one as well. So we at a second maternity home, which I thank you personally again.
Look, it's all love. You was pretty serious about what you wanted to do. You said like, hey, I'm gonna get another one, but I know you was trying to sort out the kinks and get things in order. And when you came to me about it and it was still available, of course I had to like go reach out to him, especially because of what you're doing.
Right.
And my landlord, like, he was my second landlord for my second group home.
Oh, wow.
And he never rented out to no group home operators. And he was also struggling with single family tenants in the home. So imagine what most tenants or landlords go through.
Exactly.
He's going through it. Because he got a heart like that. Like
Exactly.
He working with people, but we know that sometimes when you give too much, people will take advantage of it.
Yes.
So I had the chance to be able to shape his mindset and perception regarding this group home deal, like the whole industry. And I'm like, hey, look, and really, it didn't even work for me 100% like I wanted to, because it was only a 3-bedroom, and I wasn't able to get as many bedrooms or tenants or guests like I have in the first home.
Right.
But I said, you know what, you just turned this from crap to glamorous.
Exactly.
It's in the hood.
Right.
Area. I know it was gonna pass inspection and everything else, and I wanted to ultimately just build a relationship with them, because I knew my vision is that I want to pave the way for many people who are gonna come behind us to try to start whatever type of share living home, and help him say, hey, you went during COVID to invest these homes. The single family tenants might not be the best thing for you, but I guarantee if I can help mold more group home operators coming in, and I send them to you, that keep your investment journey going on, and it make you feel good, especially after what you was going through. So when you reached out to me, and he had reached out to see, hey, Will, see if you got anybody who want to do the home, and I wasn't just turning him on to just anybody.
Exactly.
Because now my name is on this.
Right. Exactly.
But I knew what you was doing, and you had talked about it. It was about 3 to 5 months before that, and you was ready to do it. So I say, hey, let's do it. So I appreciate you for taking advantage of it, and I'm just glad that it works for you and what you're doing.
Yes.
Because I know how hard it is to come across these landlords, even for something so vulnerable.
Exactly, right.
And some people will manipulate the system and say, hey, I'm doing this, but I'm really doing something different, instead of being upfront. So I'm just glad that I'm able to be that connector. And that's all I ever want to be.
Right. And I appreciate it, because it was just a blessing, because I was just like, okay, so this is different for us. Because, the other home is in Sunnyside, and I'm just like, okay. But I was like, when I seen it, because remember when you first said, oh, my landlord is redoing the house, and I was like, oh, and he was like, it's on the north side. I was like, okay. And then I wouldn't, I was thinking outside the box. But then, even in this, it's the guy across the street. At the home, the Mr. Bobby.
Is somebody?
Yes.
Because I was looking at the home to see if somebody was there because I wanted to try to buy it.
Yeah, so the home across the street,
Uh-huh.
he came to me and he was like, do you know any resources to help me build the home? So yesterday I posted on my Facebook and I have so many resources for the guy and I'm going to get his home
Rebuilt.
Rebuilt.
Yeah, because it is a mess.
Yes,
and I was trying to figure out, do somebody stay here?
Yes, but he came and then it was just like, okay, God, if it was just for me to help this man as well, because he came and he was like breaking the boxes down and he was like, I had stuff all from Amazon. He was like, he watched the things from me. He was like, oh, I made sure that everything was okay. And I'm just like, okay. And he was like, ma'am, do you know? And I'm like, he didn't even know me. He don't even know that I am the resource
You
person.
are the resource.
Right. And he just came to me and I was just like, oh, wow. So I was like, okay, God, now I see. You wanted me to be here, you know, and I was like, okay, to help this senior because I have another senior I'll be helping Miss with her paperwork.
Yeah.
And she comes in and Miss Taylor would call me, Miss Darlene, I need you to do this. And I'm like, okay, Miss Taylor, just come on. So then when I seen this, I was like, okay, now I see, you know, so I'm like, and then he's just so helpful. He be looking out. He was like, I'll be looking out. Don't worry, you know, and it was just like, this is where I need to be. And I feel it.
See, and you never know where the other piece of the blessing lies.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
You got this home. Like I said, I looked at the home. It wasn't in the best shape, so I didn't think nobody stayed there. And then somebody come out asking you for help, and not knowing that you are the resource. But one of the things too is like being resourceful is just as important as being the resource as
Exactly.
well.
That's
So not
true.
only are you the resource, but you are resourceful because of the people that you have
Exactly.
in your proximity, or the people who you're going to actually attract to you along this journey from today on out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. I'm really just glad that I was able to be that blessing, that connected.
Yes,
That's all I ever want to be for.
Yes,
for
and
people.
you was, and I'm so grateful. I am. When I was like, okay, and he was like, and then the thing about it, he was like, I have other people looking at the home, but I want to go with you. I just feel, you know, and I was like, really? He was like, yes, I had people interested, but he was like, I'm gonna go with you. And,
Come on, my landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that, because I don't want to make it seem like it's just because of me.
Yeah, and then he said because he kept saying because I knew you, and he was like he's not gonna recommend nobody like that ain't gonna do right.
And it's crazy, you know what? Because me and him don't. Oh man, speaking, I gotta pay rent. Man, I forgot to pay him. Anywho, y'all don't be like me. This is my first time. But we got a good relationship, so he understands.
Yeah, he
know
said,
I'm gonna pay.
Yeah, he said that too. He was like, his time, you forget or whatever. Yeah. He say, I understand. Like,
and that's what I guess made me forget too, because like we don't talk.
Right.
I mean, we talk, but it's when things are really needed.
Exactly.
I trust him. He trusts me.
Right.
Anything that happens, he take care of it. During the storm last year, around that May time, man, tree done fell over on somebody's gate, and man, he done got the whole gate fixed, chopped it down. Like, he does his job.
Yes, he does.
So I'm just glad that he trusts me. Yeah, I'm just glad he trusts me. But also, I'm just glad that you present yourself the way you presented yourself, because obviously, he come. If I'm not mistaken, he's from the Homestead area.
Yeah,
he know game and stuff like that too. So obviously, you presented yourself enough to where it don't seem like it's cliche. Because I can refer people all day long,
right? Exactly.
And he can trust that I won't bring the wrong people to him. But people act different when they get away from certain people or environment. So I'm just glad it worked out.
Yes,
so
he did, and I'm so grateful.
But you mentioned that you are a nonprofit. You're trying to do grants.
You're right. I have, yes, because I have had because I rather put the money in the house, you know, instead of take away. So it's just like I'm not going to be paying grant writers this X amount of money and, you know, nothing happens. And I have had that happen, you know, like and then you have to be careful because so many people like, oh, they see how bad you want it and they'll be like, oh, okay, they're like, oh, I can get you this and this and this and that. And it'll never happen. So I end up like doing a grant, and I had paid a grant writer for a grant before, and it was the same grant, but it come up every 2 years. So then I have had people know that I'm doing, and they was like, oh, Darlene, I think you need to work on this grant, and the grant was due like on the 25th, and I'm just like, okay, I'm rushing. I was like, okay, let me just sit down and do the grant. So the same grant that lady did, she made 11 off the grant. So I redid the grant.
11 what?
11
Grant?
points. 11 points on the grant. So me, I did it myself, and I made a 75. So I only needed to make 100. So I used my strengths and my weaknesses, and I got the grant together, and I sent it off. So I'm just praying, and it's a maternity group home grant. So I pray to God that we get it. And we recently just got a grant from the Hottie's Grant Pete Foundation regarding Megan the Stallion. She gave us a grant, and I'm so grateful for that, because we was able to open the second maternity home with the grant.
Hold on, run that back. Run it back.
Megan the Stallion we was one of the 30 people. They had 30 people. We was one of the 30 people.
She got an organization where she get grants.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now what it's called?
The Pete and Thomas Foundation.
Huh? I ain't never heard of that. But that ain't even important. Megan the Stallion, if you ever see this, salute to you for helping this young lady.
Exactly. I appreciate it, because this was dear to me. You know, just like I told you, like I did a video for her. I was like,
You did a video for her?
I did a video. I don't know when they're going to post it or whatever, but I ended up doing a testimony thanking her, because I really appreciate that, because if you believed in me, because that was most of the part, she believed in housing. So that's why, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So you can actually know that's where it went for the other home, and I appreciate it so much that you believed in me and my vision of God's Lovely Butterflies Maternity Home to give us, such an opportunity, because that's a big opportunity.
It most definitely is. Before I ask you one of these questions, did you have to write the grant?
Yeah, I had to write the grant, but it wasn't nothing hard, but it was just like, it was something simple, but you did have to, put things into it, and I was able to, and it was from the heart, so.
When you've seen this, it's Megan the Stallion. Okay?
Right.
It's like, we ain't talking about Megan the Stallion when she was in South Park or Prairie View. We're talking about Megan the Stallion that is obviously one of the biggest female rappers, artists, or whatever you want to call her in the world.
Right.
When you seen this come about, like, hey, she giving grants, somebody probably told you to do it, or you said
I seen it on Instagram. I was on Instagram strolling, and I was like, I said, okay, let me apply, and I did.
But before you applied, did you have some type of like thought in your mind, like, this can't be true, or I'm not worthy of this grant,
no,
or I won't get it?
I didn't ever think of that, because I'm like, anything that I see, I'm going to go for it, because I'm like, if God led me to it, it was for a reason. So I'm just like, it came to me like I was just on Instagram scrolling, and I seen it, and I just applied, and I was like, whether I get it or not, at least I tried. And when I received it, I thought it was like, oh no, you playing.
You thought it was a fraud?
Yeah, I thought it was a fraud. Yes, because they started like, congratulations, we need your bank account information, and I was like, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Right, exactly. But then I started reading into it, and I was like, okay. And then when I started getting the information, and they was like, you had to do a testimony, and, you have to do all this, and that's when I was like, and then I went on the website, and I was like, okay. And then so it really made sense yesterday when they did the video ad, not the video, but when they did the grant recipients, that's when I realized that it was really real. Yeah. So my name is Darlene Kearney, and we have Facebook, Instagram that you can reach us off of, and it's God's Lovely Butterflies Maternity Home. And if you feel like you would like to give us a donation, you can visit our website at godslovelybutterflies.org, and all the information is on there, or you can do through Square, Cash App is 832-264-7491, and also our organization is God's Love to the Butterflies Maternity Home. No donation is too small. The donation goes to helping those that need housing, diapers and wipes, and hygiene kits and other items that mothers, and also helping the mothers to go to the doctor for transportation services, gas, and different things that the mothers may need. And we thank you in advance for your help. And our next event coming up is our grand opening. Will be August the 9th. Our next event is our back to school event. We will be located at 2626 South Loop West, Suite 130. We will be giving away hygiene kits, backpacks, school supplies, and different other items. We will have free vendors, events, and resources will be provided, and research opportunities for our vendor that will be giving away gift cards. So please come out, and the kids must be present to receive the items.
It's a good thing that you ended up going for that grant.
Yes.
A lot of people would have seen the grant and not, go for it or feel like they're not worthy of it because they might think thousands of other people are getting it. So I'm really glad that you went for that grant, and Megan the Stallion and her foundation was able to serve you.
Yes.
Especially in the face of you being a nonprofit, and you're basically using your other means of income to fund this. And like I salute to you because like you're not allowing the lack of funds to keep you from a mission that you are actually passionate about. See, a lot of people want to get nonprofits and stuff, and they're not really passionate about what they actually doing.
Not, right.
And that's why they allow the money
to overrule. Exactly. And I don't, like, I have worked, like, last year I went to California and I was working during the strike, and I was like working sunny, and me and my daughter, I was like, I'm going to California. She said, where we going? I said, California. And I didn't think about it. I worked to, that's when they was doing like the thing was like giving away a lot of money. So I was just like, okay, I had to work to make sure the maternity home, so I didn't mind. So I was just like, I worked in 16 hours a day, every day. I was like so tired, but I knew that I had to provide for these young ladies because a lot of them, they don't have income. So what do you got? They have a lot of them that don't have income. So what you do?
I feel a bigger blessing coming for you.
Thank you.
Like literally, like even just like with like my youth group home that I'm about to deploy. I necessarily never wanted to get a nonprofit for it at the time 2 years ago. I heard the word grant and that I can get money to try to help, bring it to them. And I allowed that to kind of like shield me and spare me away from the process. So now it's to the point like, you know what? I need to learn how to be an entrepreneur, bring in revenue, and make my own revenue in case that nobody wants to donate to the cause or I get enough funding for it. I know that the money that I have coming in, I can put into these kids. Like it's things that, you mentioned it off camera that like, it's a lot of things that you do, but you don't speak about it. And people don't even know you do these things because you I guess I'm going to just say you're in the community. You ain't on social media just, flossing on anything, but you are doing things, even for myself. It's a lot of things that I do, especially for youth, and I will do. I would give my last to somebody young because I know like people like my mother, my grandmother, who will go borrow money from their friends.
To do what they have to do. Exactly.
Play IOU for them just to make sure we do it. Or the pastor that stayed next to me at 10 years old, taking me to cut grass to give me, $40, to try to keep me, on the right path. So, I just salute you for doing what you're doing, and
you have to help them. Like I had one that he was going through some hard times. It was a guy, a little young guy, I think he was like 16. And he came, he called me. He was like, ma'am, I called all of these places trying to get community service. He got himself in some trouble. And he's like, all I want to do is play football, ma'am. And he was like, I do. And he came in and he organized all of this part. He helped me in the office. And he was like, Miss, and I was like, thank you, Miss, because nobody wouldn't give me a chance. He was like, and you gave me a chance, and I had to get back into school. I got in trouble, and I was like, I had my spiel with him, like, about marijuana, don't be riding, I just like, okay, this is a young man, you know, and I'm like, and I was so glad and grateful that I was able to instill in him for the next school year. I'm like, what's more important? I say, so don't forget about us when you make it big. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna go on that field and say, Gorge live the book.
Look.
Gave us an opportunity, and I was just, I was just playing with him, but I'm just like, I was just so happy to allow him to be able to do his community service, and he understand when the women come in here, and I was like, you see what's going on? He was like, oh, they didn't have nothing. I was like, exactly. I'm like, so now you see why I do what I do. Yeah. I'm like, I had to go do drug testing. I had to leave him here, and he was like, I got it, miss. I'm like, I tell him, oh, she'll be back.
And I think the good thing about you allowing him to do community service in here is that it wasn't just community service and some volunteer type of work he was doing. He probably actually was able to gain a different perspective of what life is for some people out there. This young lady, I asked for an opportunity because I'm trying to play football, get myself out of trouble. Can I do community service here? And then he come here and see like, okay, you have clothes, you're doing these things, you're ripping and running. Like, this lady is helping not only just a young boy like me, but other people that are in need. And I hope that whoever that young boy is, that whether sports work out for him or not, that at some point, if not in his teen years, in his adult years, that he find an environment or a community where he can get with and serve the people that will probably come from where he come from, somebody that he knows, or the people that you serve, or people that I've served, or whatever. Because I think that's important for us to expose the young to community service.
Yes, because they need to know. Then I'm like, even like my daughter, she's always, my 16-year-old always been a part. So like she been there, like she know how to do everything because I'm instilling her. And then like other people, they was like, I want my child to understand, like when we do events, I'm just like, because I'm just like, I could just cater to the maternity home, but I cater to the community as well. Right, yeah. Like we have events, like our next event, we having a back to school kickoff. This is going to be our 17th year. August 23rd.
August 23rd.
And it's going to be here, outside. We're going to have vendors come out. What? So vendors go, and it's free of charge. I just want that. We're going to have Melina come out. We're going to have Texas Health and Human Services here. So I just want people to come out and we're going to give away socks, hygiene kits. So the kids will be ready for the first day of school. And then our next major event, every year for my birthday, I don't celebrate my birthday. I dedicate my birthday to having a community baby shower for young ladies.
That's impactful. See, everybody think that you got to go out and turn up and vacate, but some people's passion and mission is way different. Some people just want to serve people on a special day, because I'm pretty sure you had many unfavorable birthdays.
Oh, yes.
So to be able to be in a position where you're able to make somebody's day, especially let's say somebody come to that event on your birthday that you having for them, and it might be their birthday.
Right, exactly. I make their birthday, exactly. So that's what it's about, So I'm just like, and then November we give away Thanksgiving food boxes, and Christmas we give away toys. So we're like, we're doing this, because I remember not having nothing for Christmas. Like my mom was like, if it wasn't for my godmother, like buying things, because my mom, she couldn't afford it, she couldn't afford it. So I'm just like, so going to waking up and not having nothing, so I'm just like, so we try to hit, all the areas, and give it back, like that's what makes us different from everybody else, because they have the home and that's all they doing. No, we're in the community, we out giving, even supporting other organizations, like what things that they may have need, socks, or needing items, like emergency supplies, like when people lose their job, they'll call me, Miss Darlene, I need this and this. Come on, and get what you need.
And you're doing it the best way you can. Like you're not letting the lack of funds, anybody who probably don't want to support, although you have some supporters, but of course I think you should have more and you can use more. But you're not letting those things get in the way of doing what you can. Obviously, that brings us into me asking you, based off a post that I've seen, where you named several things, and I didn't really think that you was probably doing all these things. I pull up, I'm in my truck, pull up, you got the big dually with the refrigerator on the back strapped down. I'm like, it's Saturday. Who's somebody like her? Why is she working on a Saturday? But obviously because you do many things. So let's talk about some of the things. I'm pretty sure it's probably too much to talk about.
Yes.
But some of the things that you're doing, because obviously we're in your office, and I see, obviously, donations, for clothes, for I'm pretty sure
Yes,
kids,
kids, young
things.
adults, clothes, kids, adults, shoes.
Then you got your medical stuff. You got your drug testing
Yes,
stuff
I
over
have my
here.
drug testing. I
Okay.
have my own drug testing site,
Okay.
so I'm able to
Here.
do yes here
Okay. Okay.
DOT and non-DOT testing. I have contracts with different companies, so I'm able to. I do mobile lab draws, so that's why I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning doing lab draws for different companies. So I also I am a instructor. Like whoever want to open their own drug testing center, I'm able
Huh.
to teach them. I do CPR. I'm a CPR.
Yeah, you talking my language now.
Right.
Former paramedic here, so you talking
Oh,
my language.
okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Keep on. What you got?
CPR
What you got going?
training. I am everything. Phlebotomist, medical assistant, instructor. So I'm also a substance abuse counselor. I do substance abuse, domestic violence instructor, vaping instructor for our youth because I'm big on our youth, big
Yeah.
on our youth and teaching them like I teach them about being careful, while drinking and smoking, and doing things like that. I also have my own trucking company where I do trucking.
Trucking too.
Yes, trucking, but I don't like advertise it, but I'm like I know how to
I mean, you don't need
do
to.
stuff like right now. Like I'm being my own thing. I'm loading my refrigerator up to take to the second
Like you
maternity
do like
home.
hot shot or 18 wheelers.
Hot shot.
You not driving it, right?
No, I'm not.
You
I
got
do.
somebody out there driving?
No, I got some. It's both. It's both. So I do that. So I have my hands in a lot of stuff. Like I do a lot of paperwork. I do notary, divorces. I do court titles, registrations. I have my own 360 photo booth. So I am a full-time entrepreneur.
Poverty can never come back for you.
Oh no, no,
At all.
no. Because when one thing don't work, I go to the next.
That's it.
You
have
and
many skills.
many skills.
Trade.
But my baby is my maternity home, so everybody know. Like if you see me at the hospitals, and this one, and last week, well Monday is when when one of my mothers had their baby, and the social worker came in. And so she's talking. I said, "Oh, I can step out." And she was like, "No, that's my." The young lady said, "No, that's my foster mom." Like she labeled me as our foster mom. And the lady was like, "Okay, what's your name?" And I say, "Darlene." Darlene, like Darlene.
She knew you?
She said, yes, she always was calling me to give resources, so she was able to put a face to the name, and she was like, "Oh, you good?" Like she was she was like, "Oh, you don't need no service. You are where everybody's trying to get into the maternity home." So it made me feel so good. And she was like, I said, "Oh no, I made her wake up." I'm like, "Why? I was here. I was just doing stuff." She was like, "Well, you are supported." And she was like, "Yes, I just came home from being incarcerated, Miss Darlene. Nobody was going to take me." And Miss Darlene was like, "Okay, she can come here." So she didn't even know she was coming to a maternity home. When she came, she was just clueless. She's like, "Am I out of jail?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you out." And she was like so excited, just to be able to, for somebody to give her a chance, and she was so excited. And she was like, "I can't wait to like tell everybody about Girls Club the Butterflies." But the social worker was like, "I know you support it, and it's nothing that you don't need no resources because you are at the resource center."
What a great feeling.
Yeah, it was great. Yes.
The lady didn't even know who you was.
No.
But she knew that she's sending people to you.
Exactly.
And you taking care of business.
Yeah, and I'm taking care of business.
And then when your name come out, what?
You right.
Darlene?
Yes. And she's like, the Darlene? I'm like, yes. She's like, "So you're the owner of the maternity home?" And I was like, yes.
That's impact.
Yeah, that was an impact.
That's
like,
impact.
And this is Memorial Hermann Hospital, and I'm just like, I felt so good, and she didn't know because the mom's not from here, and she was like, "Oh, Miss Darlene, low-key famous," and I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, so that's why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you don't never know who you're going to see in person. And I was like, what about if I was like, "Oh, he wasn't there." And she was like, "Oh, no, I heard bad stuff about the maternity. I ain't seen it. I know you're not in good hands." But she knew at that moment that she was in good hands.
There you go. I love it. Like I said, that's real impact. What we say and how we feel about ourselves and what we do is cool. But it means even more when somebody else
exactly.
That's where like that impact is really stamped on.
Right, exactly.
About what other people feel and think about what you do. But you do all these things for one. What caught my eye, I mean, all of it caught my attention. So you're going to have to teach me to do something.
Okay.
So we can teach together. Teach
That-
these young adults.
No,
'Cause
that's
my goal is to start teaching them
yes,
things
and
that they can do.
they can do, and that's what I'm open to. Like I partner with the work source, so I can do
Okay.
training with them. You know, because I want them to learn different things. You know, even like the little skills that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? I want to teach them. Like even at the home, like I want them to come to the home so they can learn how to cook and have life skills and wash and things that we didn't learn.
You know we about to start doing some events together, right?
Okay, that's fine.
I know you ain't know.
No, I didn't know, but I know now.
I didn't know either until you said that you do a lot of education
Yes,
for youth.
yes, for you.
And I am big on that. And I got into it. You know, I don't do it as much because I've been trying to get, you know, the group home stuff going, especially my youth group home and things like that.
And congratulations on it. I'm
I
so
appreciate
proud of
it.
that, and I want to be a part of that.
You're going to be a part of it. I don't know why. It's okay. I'm not going to get you on camera.
Okay.
But I didn't even know you was doing things just revolving around the youth.
Oh,
So
yes.
when I heard it, I'm like, okay, so God is expanding my territory.
Exactly.
Man, bringing people into it because I've been looking to see who is for the youth doing things, and I can help them and they help me.
Exactly.
And we help the
Each
people that
other,
we're trying to
exactly, because
serve.
that's our future. That's how we need to focus on, like that like with the community service with the guy. You know, like people like they don't know that you can do community service. You don't even have to be in trouble to do community service.
Yeah.
You can come offer your time, and you know, even with the events and stuff, because that's giving them hands on. You know, they understand it. You know, even having like group talks. I learned that they want an outlet. They want to talk.
Restorative session.
Exactly. So I'm okay with that. Like, what you got going on? Like, I be on that level. Like, I ain't sitting. We on the, what we gonna do?
Yeah.
What we talking about?
Hey, you mentioned, man, you are talking. You're talking my language. You feel how I feel. Of course, you know, I like you have to get around certain people to really see
You do.
what people are like and what interests, you know, they may resonate with each other. But like you saying some things that is strong, like even just with the kid coming in and, you know, get him to volunteer and stuff, you're giving him a different vision and perspective. He might not do it right now, but at some point he gonna remember you gave him that first chance of community service and doing something good. You know, it's just like for me, like I ain't know nothing about giving back, doing anything really too much good for people outside of sports or outside of running the streets, you know, with you know the people we used to run with. Until, you know, shout out to Mr. Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins used to be my principal in middle school and in high school.
Okay.
He's a military vet. He was a military vet.
Okay.
Tough.
Okay. And that's what you need, tough.
Still the same discipline that he had then and probably back in his early time. He's still the same way. Get up in the morning, work out, and he do a lot for the youth out in Georgia.
Oh, wow.
He came down here to Texas. Obviously, something happened with his family member. Went back and he's in Georgia doing real good with the youth.
That's
And
good.
he had what is called FCA, Fellowship Christian Athlete. And it was basically like having male role models and female role models come in and doing some type of athletic time my senior year, and just being involved in that just kind of gave me a different eye for helping people. Of course, I didn't really get into helping people until, you know, maybe mid-20s, but I knew early 20s I wanted to, but I didn't know how, or maybe I'm gonna say I was overthinking it.
Exactly.
And then that's when I started getting into, you know, obviously speaking to youth. And, you know, one of my he was my 5th grade teacher. Shout out to Mr. Moore. He became our grade level principal in high school. The only male that ever put a paddle to my butt.
Oh, wow.
And I had to do it so I can play in the game.
Oh, okay.
But Mama and Grandma used to him, remember him from 5th grade. They know Mr. Moore good. To this day, he's still good with me. He's still good with my family. They know who Mr. Moore is.
Right.
But he called me one day 2 years ago, literally, around the time I was, you know, getting my nonprofit together and trying to get ready for the youth stuff. And I was already mentoring unofficially. And he said, hey, I know you're a paramedic. I know you've been through some things. You know where I'm from. He's from New Orleans.
Okay.
Hey, I need you to come keep it real with these cats. Like, because this alternative school called High Point, you got kids in there for drugs, whether they selling it or doing it. Kids just overdosed a week or two before that time, and it was during Red Ribbon Week, so drug-free time. And just going back to speak to the kids, my first time speaking.
Right.
I was a little nervous, especially watching 4 or 5 little youngsters walking there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, we putting these index cards up. I'm not, we going off the script. Because I know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah, and
now.
that's what I'm saying. And when it's no script with them, like you got to tell them the stuff that they need to listen to. Like, you know, like the girls, I'm like, they come in there hard, and I was like, oh baby, I got you.
And I'm gonna connect you too.
Okay.
I have somebody, one of my classmates. I mean, we weren't in the same grade,
Okay.
but she's in a grade higher than me. But she's, you know, I've been talking to her about nonprofit and just kind of, you know, unofficially consulting with us. She's been helping me out because we met back up through the same principal, Mr. Moore, at the Turner School. She came talking about her nonprofit. She is a professor at Prairie View.
Okay.
She does things at the juvenile center, and she's been getting me involved in it as well.
Okay.
On top of what I'm doing. But she does a lot of things with the youth, with her nonprofit and stuff. And then what you're doing with youth and the maternity home and everything else, I think that'll be a good collaboration.
Okay.
So I'm gonna connect y'all. But I'm happy to see you doing these things, and we most definitely got to connect more. Just seeing everything you're doing is essential.
Yes.
It ain't going nowhere, and it's needed.
Right.
And for you to hustle how you hustling after a lifetime of probably hustle, grind.
Yes.
You know,
Definitely.
different emotions and everything.
Oh yeah, exactly. I had to put them to the side. Like I get up every day. It's like I don't have no downtime. Like I feel like everybody like you need to rest. You need to do that. I'm like no. It's just like I have to do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like I'll rest later. But right now I do take care of myself. But in the meantime, it's just like I have. It's one me, and I got everybody I need to take care of.
And I'm glad you're saying it, because I want to ask this, like, any way that, or not ask, or tell you, any way that I can be of assistance, I want to be. Like, I'm learning that you don't have to do everything by yourself,
Exactly.
number one.
Right.
Two, like, even just with the nonprofit, I've been struggling if I want to go back and do it or not. You know, getting ready to start the bigger mission with the youth group home and stuff with the state. Trying to do the nonprofit too. That's going to be 2 full-time jobs, and I just don't want to stretch myself.
Exactly.
And because I want to make sure I give my all
Exactly.
to the youth
Right.
exactly. Especially after a 2-year setback that took a toll on me because I couldn't do it then, but now I'm in a position to do it.
Exactly.
I want to make sure I sacrifice that time to make sure I seize the opportunity.
Oh, of course.
So I've been looking to see how I can get involved with where other people are already doing things, because I'm realizing that I don't need my own nonprofit. I don't.
Right.
I just want to be of value to people.
Exactly.
So if there's any way that I can be of assistance to you,
Okay.
I'm here. And if there's any type of help that you need, let's figure out how we can bring help in to help you, whether it's the maternity home, whether if it's, and I know that's your baby. You're going to be real sensitive about people coming around with that.
No, I'm not. I'm open to it because I'm like, I know that I can't do stuff by myself. And I do, like, my board members and, you know, and my volunteers, you know, they are my support, you know, and my friends. And
You got some good board members?
Yeah, I have some good board members. I just got these board members, and they are just, we have a meeting Sunday shout out to Tilly, because Tilly is, baby, she has her own trucking company. All of my board members are entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And they are, you know, and they doing what they have to do, and she, like the beds, what we need, I'm gonna take care of room, you know. It's just like, and I never had that support, you know. And did you put the beds together? We got to have a meeting on Sunday. Like, they keep me on top. What are you doing? And that's what we here for.
I want to piggyback off that. So for all you people out there who want to do a nonprofit, and you just, because I always ask people, okay, why you want to do a nonprofit?
Yeah.
And the first thing they're gonna say, the money, the grant. Yeah. But
what happens when you you shouldn't want to do it for that, because that's not gonna make it. You have to have a passion. Like, I think I done dedicated more money than grants to my nonprofit.
And that's the realism of that most people don't ever mention.
Right.
That you're gonna spend and put more into your,
like I have it split in my 401k for my baby, because that was my baby. You know, I'm like, because I wanted to make sure nothing. This was at the time, like, I wanted to make sure that we talking about lights, we talking about gas, we talking about Lawrence. But the thing about it, I'm like, and shout out to Brian, because he make sure the grass get cut. Like I just, and this was like from one of my second husband, like it was his friend.
Yeah.
And like he was like, no, darling, I remember you in this park. Like we started off at doing backpacks and on for funding, giving away. So first we started off in McGregor Park with my friend, and we had her family and my family giving away backpacks, 10 backpacks we gave. And then we moved to funding, and every year we was doing it on funding. Then when I started moving to this office, I end up having it over here. But so it's like now every year everybody looking for we are the 16 year, so this is something that we've been doing. I started the organization in 2010, so I'm just like, I can just imagine how much time and dedication. Like we have people that's been with us the whole time. Phaedra, I shout out to her. Like that is my key player. Like that's my volunteer. She's gonna come. What you need? Like she put the beds together at the maternity home. Like she is my, my go-to person. Like so, I am so grateful for everybody, my support system, my child. Like my youngest daughter for like stepping in, watching the baby while I do what I do. Cause I'm like on the week he goes to the daycare, but then she's there to help me because that is my support system. So I'm like, I'm grateful for the people that. And Miss Hale, for Shining Star, like she has a non-profit organization. She was like, what you need? Like I blessed, like the socks. And, like I'm grateful that I'm able to do what I want to do. And I'm grateful that people believe in me and support me. And it's like, okay, like I didn't have like somebody I grew up with. And she was like, I don't have a lot of money, but I just want to give me your Cash App and send you something, so I appreciate that, like it for whatever somebody do, even the small, even pray for us to make sure that I get strength to go through this. Cause it's like, I put all these tasks on me, which I do, but I love what I do.
Well, that's a blessing because as many people need to know that your board members are a key part, and they're supposed to be out there helping you push the mission and even donating as well. So I'm glad that you have people that support you and entrepreneurs because they understand as well.
Yes.
And they helping you fill that void that you may need.
Exactly.
But I don't want to hold you too long because you are a busy woman. And I think we're going to have to come back for part 2.
No, that's fine. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for part 2 because, everything will be done. Our second maternity home, August the 9th, will be our grand opening for the maternity home. So I'm excited about that. So stay tuned. And now it don't stop here. I want other maternity homes, because it's needed. It's needed.
You're going to get it.
Yes. Even like the helping the youth, like, anything. Like if you need my help, I'm here. I'm a counselor. I have a lot of experience with youth, so I'm here to support you as well.
I'm bringing you in for sure.
Okay, I'm here.
What is one thing that you will leave for somebody out there that is young, whether it's male or female, that may not have everything figured out right now and may be going through a hard time? What is one thing that you would like to tell them?
One thing I would tell them is to hold on. Rely on your support system. It's like and it's okay to get help. It's like it's okay to not take off the cape, and to be like, even though the person I am, like I have to realize that I can't do everything, that I have to like delegate people to do that and accept the help because I'm the one that I'm the giver.
Yeah.
So I always like when somebody want to do it, I'm like, I know I got it. But in reality, everybody know like, no, you're going to do this. And I'm like, my Eastern Star sisters, like I love them too. It's where they was like, we know you're doing everything, but you better not, so it's just like, but it's just have a support system, rely on your higher power, just know that trouble don't last always. You have to find something that's going to motivate you. Like my kids are my motivation. I just know that I cannot. I want to live comfortably. So I have to do what I need to do. I just can't sit here and yes, everybody got to say a story. I got to say a story, but I turn my pain into purpose, and I just think I haven't gave up. Like many times, like anything, like I said, can happen. It can happen. Even you can I'm an author too. So I wrote a book about my life. Only God knows why, because I didn't know. I didn't realize in that book made me like realize that I had to forgive. I had to forgive my ex for things that he had did to me. You know what I'm saying? In order for me to grow and to be happy into the person that I am. So if forgiveness played a hard part of things, and some people may feel like I can't forgive this person, or this person did that to me. I had to forgive my own mother for putting me out at 16 years old. I had to forgive my dad for not being a dad, you know, and first of all, I had to forgive myself to my kids because I wasn't present with them. I worked so much and my kids didn't get the best version of me. You know, so, and it's at times like I feel that it's, you know, we could be closer, but it's just like it's a lot of things that we have to work on. And you know, you have to realize I'm not a perfect person, and we got to realize that we're not perfect, but we have to strive and move towards every day. You know, you can't look back. You know, you can't live in the past. You're like, okay, this happened to me, but what am I going to do right now? Yes, I had a bad breakup. Yes, I had a heartbreak. Yes, they cheated on me. Yes, they hurted me. Yes, I may lost a kid, or, you know, or a parent or a loved one, someone is clear to you and dear to you, but you have to push on through the triumphs, you know, even though, you know, we're going to have hurdles that's going to keep coming, and you just, it's like what you going to deal with it, you know, because God, he's going to give us some battles.
Yeah,
so it's
definitely.
just like he going to give us some storms, you know, before the blessings come. So it's just like you're going to give up, or you're going to find you, because everybody have a vision that everybody's here for a purpose. So
Amen.
I'm just glad that he gave me my purpose in 2010, and I'm working in my purpose, and I'm able to help people in spite of what I've been through. You know, I can use my pain and say, okay, I was homeless. Okay, I was a single mother. Okay, I didn't have nothing for my baby, but now my kids is in. I'm making sure that I leave a legend for my kids. So when I close my eyes, if I go whenever day I go, I know that I did what I need to do in the world, and that's the best part of it. Like, I don't care anything get taken away. Let me be able to make a impact on somebody. Like, somebody come and say, if it wasn't for Miss Darlene, I wouldn't have a place to stay. You know, if it wasn't for Miss Darlene, I wouldn't have no diapers. If it was for Miss Darlene, I wouldn't have no wipes. You know, if it wasn't for Miss Darlene pouring into me, you know, I wouldn't be able to be the person I am. You know, I wouldn't be able to get my education. I wouldn't be able to care for my baby. I wouldn't have no items for my baby. You know, so that's the goal is to keep pushing and never give up. You know, we're going to have days that you don't want to get up out of bed. You know, some days life is going to hit you with a ton of bricks. But what do? You're going to get up, you're going to stand up, and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to put this behind me, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to do what God called me to do. And that's me. Like, I don't care if everything gets stripped away, I'm doing what God asked me to do. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Amen. You heard it from her. I appreciate you for this time, this day, your wisdom, your experiences, your testimonials, and everything. I thank you for your contribution to society in general. You are a walking testimony, living affirmation. Literally.
Yeah, thank you.
So, for anybody out there, I hope you understood exactly what she was saying. I hope you have some takeaways. If you don't, then we're going to have to get you in one of her little therapy sessions or counseling sessions.
Right.
All right? So, again, I appreciate you for tuning in.
Thank you.
And what can the people connect with you?
Okay, you can follow us on Facebook, God's Lovely Butterflies Maternity Home, Instagram, God's Lovely Butterflies Maternity Home, TikTok, everything. We're on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, mostly on Facebook. We do a lot of Facebook, or you can, my pages is full, but I have 2 pages, so you can follow me on Darlene Kearney or Darlene Boss Lady Kearney on Facebook, and my number is public, open, you know, it's 832-264-7491. You can call me. I have many people call me throughout the night, like they having crisis situation. You know, my phone is always open because you know, I want to talk, you know, I want to be here to help, you know, because I don't want to be see you on the news and you did something and you didn't have the opportunity.
It's okay. Yeah.